Hello and welcome to the channel. These are the short questions with answers in around 40 words for the chapter How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. So number 1 question is, why did the narrator and her grandparents receive the newspaper and magazine late? The answer is, the narrator lived in a village in North Karnataka. During those days, the village transport system was quite poor and slow. Because of this unreliable transport, the morning paper and weekly magazine always arrived late. Question number 2. What was special about Tribeni's writing style that made her popular? Tribeni was a highly popular Kannada writer because her style was easy to read and deeply convincing. Her stories brilliantly explored complex psychological problems in the everyday lives of ordinary people, making them highly relatable. Number 3 question. What was the main plot of the novel Kashi Yatre? Kashi Yatra is the story of an old lady with a deep desire to visit Kashi to worship Lord Vishweshwara. However, she ultimately sacrifices her savings to help a young orphan girl get married instead. Question number 4. Why was going to Kashi considered important in the novel? The answer is, according to the beliefs of most Hindus mentioned in the story, visiting Kashi to worship Lord Vishweshwara is considered the ultimate punya or religious merit, which is why the protagonist desperately wanted to go. Question number 5. Why couldn't the narrator's grandmother read? The answer is, the grandmother Kristaka lost her mother early. Her busy father remarried, and in those days, education for girls wasn't considered essential. She married young and had children, and never got the opportunity to attend school. Question number 5. What did the grandmother do while the narrator read the story to her? The answer is, every Wednesday, when the narrator read the magazine, the grandmother would forget all her household chores. She listened with the utmost concentration and possessed such a great memory that she could repeat the text by heart. Question number 7. Why did the grandmother strongly identify with the novel's protagonist? The answer is, just like the old lady in the novel, the grandmother had a strong desire to visit Kashi but had never been able to go. This shared unfulfilled dream made her deeply connect with the novel's protagonist. Question number 8. What did the children do while the grandmother discussed the story at the temple? The answer is, after hearing the latest episode, the grandmother would go to the temple courtyard to debate the story with her friends. Meanwhile, the narrator and the other children would gather there to play games like hide and seek. Question number 9. Why did the narrator extend her stay in the neighboring village? The answer is, the narrator went to a neighboring village with her cousins to attend a wedding. The children had complete freedom to eat and play endlessly as the elders were busy, so she stayed for a week. Question number 10. How did the grandmother feel when the narrator was away at the wedding? The grandmother felt incredibly helpless and dependent. When the magazine arrived, she couldn't read the story herself. She was too embarrassed to ask anyone else in the village, leaving her frustrated by her illiteracy. Number 11. What realization did the grandmother have about money during the narrator's absence? The answer is the grandmother realized that despite her family being financially well off, her money was practically useless in that moment. It couldn't buy her the independence to read the magazine herself without relying on her granddaughter. Question number 12. What firm resolution did the grandmother make upon the narrator's return? The answer is deeply affected by her helplessness, the 62-year-old grandmother resolved to learn the Kannada alphabet starting the very next day. She set a strict deadline to become independent enough to read a novel by Dashera. Question number 13. Why did the 12-year-old narrator laugh at her grandmother's decision? The answer is the narrator childishly mocked her grandmother because of her age. She found it amusing that a 62-year-old woman with grey hair, wrinkled hands, and spectacles wanted to start learning the alphabet while managing heavy kitchen duties. Question number 14. How did the grandmother justify her decision to learn at the age of 62? The grandmother smiled and explained that if one is truly determined for a good cause, any obstacle can be overcome. She firmly believed that there is no age bar when it comes to the pursuit of learning. Question number 15. How did the grandmother prove to be an excellent student? The grandmother worked incredibly hard and did an amazing amount of homework. She diligently practiced by reading, repeating, writing, and reciting the alphabet. Her dedication made her 12-year-old granddaughter's job as a teacher very easy. Number 16. What gift did the narrator buy for her grandmother for Dashera? The answer is, since the grandmother had set Dashera as her deadline to learn to read, the narrator secretly went out and bought a published copy of the novel Kashi Yatre to present to her as a special gift. Number 16. What unusual thing did the grandmother do on Saraswati Puja day? The answer is, during the puja, the grandmother gave her granddaughter some frock material and then surprisingly bent down to touch her feet. This was highly unusual because traditionally, elders never touch the feet of youngsters. Question number 18. How did the grandmother explain touching her granddaughter's feet? The answer is, she explained that she wasn't touching her granddaughter's feet but rather paying respect to her teacher. She stated that scriptures dictate a teacher must be respected, regardless of her gender and age. Question number 19. How did the narrator respond to her grandmother's unexpected gesture of respect? The answer is, the narrator respectfully returned the greeting by touching her grandmother's feet in return. Following this exchange of mutual respect, she proudly handed over the novel Kashi Yatre to her very first student. Question number 20. How did the narrator know that her grandmother had successfully learned to read? The answer is the moment the narrator gave her the novel, the grandmother immediately and confidently read the title Kashi Yatre by Tribeni along with the publisher's name. This proved she had passed her personal test with flying colors. Thank you very much. This is the end of the video. Hope it helps. Thank you very much.